Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farmville. I'm not sure about that. I'm assuming that putting it through, without actually doing the full calculations, at the moment, straw is 109, well, I think it's 109, it might be different. No, it's manure and slurry that's 109. But anyway, at the moment, straw, we can sell it for the best price in the winter. So we could keep the straw, and then any that we're not using as bedding for the cows ends up being sold in the winter, the excess. Or we could take the straw that we've got, and we could put it, instead of selling the excess, we could take the excess and we could put it through the mini BGA. I'm not sure how much return we would get on it above what we would get for the just selling it, and whether or not that might be a little bit cheaty for this particular series. I will have a think about this. I'll weigh up any comments that anyone cares to give on the subject, and I'll make a decision in a little while. I'm not going to make a decision on it just at the moment, but I will eventually make some kind of decision on that. You are going to carry on and do that. Excellent. He's turned around just fine. There may be a little bit of a mess of it just on the edges on that corner going up through, but I'm sure that'll be fine as well. So while you go and do that, this one is just going to have to sit here and wait for more of that hay to be turned. We want to go down here and carry on with this job. I've had a little bit of a break, and I've come back to do some more recording. We are just finishing up this little bit right here, and then we have done the first field all ready for our new and improved field boundary. At least that's what I'm hoping. So, I've had a little bit of feedback about the baler, where I changed it over and went for the faster one, and as expected, some people didn't particularly like the faster baler. Some of you did like the faster baler. Because it's a realistic series, I'm very open to discussion about this. So, some of you said that you'd prefer to see the baler switch back to the baler with the normal speed, but maybe I could increase the speed. Now, I tried doing that, and it doesn't seem to work on that one. So I thought what I could do instead is, because we have got the working speed mod on here, I got it on here just in case that we might want it for something. Let me just double check that I do actually have it. It doesn't matter which baler we go to look. But yeah, see, we got working speed right there. So what I could do is actually I could slow the working speed down a bit, and we could see how that would work. So it would be a little bit slower than what we have. It's a bit faster than what a normal baler would run at, but that way it's sort of, I feel like it would be a good balance between the two. Now, I did have a couple of comments arguing that I shouldn't be reversing the plow in the ground, I know that much, that I'm being quite unrealistic by baling up that straw anyway and using it for the cows, and that I shouldn't be, because that is not what you would normally do. On that point, well, and like arguing, well, that's not particularly realistic, so I should stick with the normal just crops that would give straw, the oats, the wheat, and the barley, and not do the others. I'm going to respectfully disagree on that one, because although it's not common to collect straw from corn or from sunflowers, and it does happen more often with soybeans, but it's still not common. Same with the canola, the OSR. It does happen. It definitely does happen. I know this because I've done it myself. I've done it with beans, and I've also done it with... I did one crop of canola with it, and that was used as... I think that was used as bedding, actually. But I'm not actually sure what the canola straw was used for, but it was... The point is that it was collected, it was baled up, And it does happen. It happens with all of them. The only thing I'm conceding on is the sorghum. Now, this time we went through, I didn't bale it because of the fact that it's being left behind, but I've had it explained to me the sorghum hulmer is left behind, and it really wouldn't be something that you could bale up because of how the plant is, what the plant is like. So that one, yeah, I absolutely fully agree. Why? See, this is what I don't like about this, is that I can't even... I've got to unfold this one to lower it down. I don't like that at all. Right. We'll drop that one there. And so I've now got that field ready down the bottom. We want to do something with that one, don't we? Let's just take a look. So that one was the sorghum. So I need to plant wheat and wheat plant... Oh, that's not until tomorrow, so we don't need to worry about that just yet. All right. Well, in which case, I don't think I've actually got anything else that I need to do with this tractor right now. We've got the hay turner working in the field down there, so I'm not going to need to worry about that one. So you can go into the shed. We'll go over and have a look over this side. So he's busy doing the turning on here. He's got a little bit to go, but he's doing a pretty good job. So let's have this one. And I reckon we could probably do one round around the outside. I'll go this way. So, yeah, for the actual straw, for baling it up, I have baled up a couple of those types of straw myself. I've actually done that, so I'm not going to accept that, well, we can't do it because it's not realistic. That one I'm not going for, because not common and not realistic are two entirely different things. Now, yes, absolutely, it is not a common practice to go and bale up the straw from maize. And it is not a common practice to go and bale up straw from sunflowers or from the canola, but it does happen sometimes. And this farm is a sometimes farm, because if I only ever did things that are only done for most common practices, then it would be a very dull and predictable series indeed, and I already get accused of being predictable, so let's keep it unpredictable. So the whole point of the faster baler is just to speed things up a little bit, and I feel that the increased speed does make a significant difference. Now, I end up doing quite a bit of the baling off camera, and it still makes a significant difference to the amount of time that it takes to do all of the baling. So I'm quite happy to leave it like that. However, I had enough comments from people saying that it should be slower, that what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the working speed thing, and I'm going to try slowing it down on that one so that we can go a bit slower, a bit more towards what a standard baler would actually bale along at, and we can do it like that. We'll try it out. We'll see what it's like. So anyway, what we're doing is we're going to bale this up. We've got the straw right there that we're going to need to bale up, and we've got this that will need to be gathered up and then baled. And then once we've done all of that, we can go and dump it into the shed. And I was completely forgetting about the ability for the trailer to unload, and had several people point out to me, you know, I could just go up alongside our shed up there and then just unload off to the side, where it will sort of shove it into the shed far enough that I will be able to have everything stacked away in the shed neat and tidy. So apologies for that. I can't believe I can believe it. I can absolutely believe it. But yes, I do feel slightly embarrassed that I completely overlooked that and neglected to actually go and use that. So what I'm going to do here is, if I pick this one up, I'm kind of thinking that twice round would be better. It would allow me to turn properly with the rake when I'm doing this job. And yes, I know that we've got half of it we can't actually bale up at the moment, but if I was to do it like this, I could then, we'll go and get the baler, and we can bring that one up, and we can bale the very outside round, and we're gathering up the bales as we go, and then we could go and gather this one up as well, and I think that will work out rather nicely. So then, there isn't really a lot else that we need to worry about today. Once we've done this, we will want to put some fertilizer on here, and I'm still debating whether or not I should spend the money on the equipment. Obviously, we can't spend the money today because we don't have it, but spend money on equipment and use the digestate from the BGA to spread on the field. So I probably wouldn't go doing that on the other ones, but I do think that maybe we could do it on this field. And so just have it done as something that we do for the grass field, and I think that would actually work out fairly well. Like, it's not going to take massive amounts of time. The one thing that I'm sort of conscious of with any job, any commitment that I make with doing a job, is that they all take time. And the problem with that, with a series like this, is that the longer each job takes, the longer it takes to actually progress anywhere in the series, and that is the one chief complaint that I get about any series I've ever done, is that I just don't progress things fast enough. So I need to look at each job and see how it's going to affect the overall progress. And the idea of this particular series is not to get bogged down on too many details, but to progress through seasons. We want years to go by. That's the whole aim of this series this time, is we want the years to go by as quickly as possible, whilst also trying to simulate reasonably realistically the things that are happening. Now, I may not necessarily do everything 100% the normal accepted method of doing it, such as baling up the straw from most of the plants that we have, that we grow, which is an unusual thing, but it's definitely not something that is impossible. Like, something that... Wait a minute, I've just driven right past the baler. Something that does bug me is people saying, no farmer would ever. Because I can absolutely guarantee you that if you come out with a statement, no farmer would ever, I can very quickly, with a 10-second Google search, find you an example of a farmer who is doing what you just said would never. It's always been the case. I've had so many times where people have said, no farmer would ever do such and such. And what they actually mean is, I have been in agriculture, and I personally don't do this. Therefore, I don't think anyone else should do this. Or, I've never encountered an example myself of this happening, and therefore I cannot imagine anyone else ever actually doing it. Very sorry to break this to you, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't happen. And I can absolutely assure you that there are examples of just about everything. One of my favorite examples of that very thing was, right, what we're going to do is I think I've got the mod on here. We've got the, you go up and you press Shift N. There we go. Right, we'll go to that one, and we will go to customize on this one. So I've got a working speed. This mod has got the standard working speed of 40k. So I'm going to drop that down to 30, which is the lowest it will go. There. And we'll see how that works. See if that slows it down enough that it will seem a little bit more realistic for people. Because I'm not a monster. I'm really not. So, what... Yeah, my absolute favourite example of this was... I think it was FS15. It might have been FS17. It was the one where we had Goldcrest Valley first turn up. I think that was 17. Wasn't it? Was that 17? I think it was, actually, yeah. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. I think it was 17. It may not have been. It may have been 15. But it was Goldcrest Valley. We had Goldcrest Valley, and... Let me just start that trailer, and then we will go to the baler. And one of the mods that turned up in Goldcrest Valley in the in-game mod hub was... Right, he's doing 26 to 28. It is definitely faster than normal, but I think this is probably going to be alright. Okay, that first bale didn't get picked up. One of the mods that turned up was a front weight that was made in the shape of a minion. And I absolutely loved... Right, I've altered this down to 30k, and it's going so fast that it's even missing bits of... Okay, so I don't know what's been done to modify this baler, but it's definitely a whole lot faster than the other one that we were running. So I might just concede and go back and get the other one, which is probably going to end up costing us a fair slice of money, but we'll see what we can do about it. We have finished doing the hay turning, which is good. In fact, I'm going to need to... Right, so slowing it down using that didn't work. Same as speeding the other one up using that same work speed adjustment didn't work either. So I might just, yeah, I might go and get the other baler back. Let's see about that. Because that, yeah, it's going so fast at the moment with these big thick runs of hay that it's skipping bits, and that isn't right. Yeah, it doesn't feel right now. So the minion front weight that was released, someone made a mod of a minion front weight, and so I bought the minion front weight and I put it on my tractor because I thought this looks really cool. I really like this one. This is amazing. I now have a minion as a front weight on my tractor. This is fantastic. And I had a whole load. A lot of people thought it was really cool as well. A lot of people did. I had quite a lot of views back then, and I also got a lot of hate on it. There were so many comments from people saying that is absolutely unrealistic. There was even, I think, someone, well, not I think, I know, there was even someone saying, I'm unsubscribing, I'm never going to watch you again because this is just stupid and ridiculous and completely unrealistic. No farmer would ever do that. And so many people said no farmer would ever do that. I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. Because, so the next video that I made, I did a 10-second, literally it was 10 seconds. It was just 10 seconds of Google searching. And I did this 10-second Google search, and I found real-life examples of farmers with the minion front weight. There was an engineering company that was actually making them, and this is where the modder actually got the idea for it. He copied the one in real life and then added it into the game. And there were so many comments about how it was unrealistic and no farmer would ever do this and this, that, and the other, and there was just so many absolutes with what can and cannot be done on a farm and so on. So all I did was to fully sort of question this, or to like argue my corner, was I did the Google, after doing the Google search. Right, let me switch that one off, and then we'll fold this one up. We're going to go and get the other baler. After doing the Google search and so on, I included real-life pictures in the video. I pasted some in with an... Oops. Okay, my fault. I didn't have beacons on. Clearly didn't see me. I included some images of my Google search of the various different tractors that had the minion weight, and a couple of people still buckled down and decided that this was the hill they were going to die on. Those aren't real farmers. They're wannabe farmers. One of them said that's clearly photoshopped. And the last one was, well, that minion looks different to the one that you've got in the game. No farmer would ever have one like you've got in the game. And so that led me to the conclusion that there is no possible way you can win. If you have an argument with someone on the internet, that argument will go until the end of time and you cannot win. So this whole idea that you cannot do something, it may not be something that you personally would do in real life, but that does not mean that it cannot be done, and that does not mean that it is not done. They are two entirely different outlooks. Right, so we're going to spend $2,000 on that one just to do a little bit of a boost. Now, we haven't used it for very long, but we still only get $53,000 back. So we're going to sell that bad boy right there. I can't remember how much the new baler cost, but this is the second time that I've done this. And And the reason I wanted to do this, now I have been accused, and I'm going to use the word accused, of doing this because I have an obsession with trying to save time with the baling, when in actual fact all I save is about 30 seconds. I'm going to respectfully disagree with that, because I believe that I save more than 30 seconds by doing this. Now, I don't think that the working speed will affect this, because it didn't affect it on the other one either. I don't have enough money to do this. Just see something a second. Right, because I've got this, I'm going to add 10,000, which is less than the amount that I've lost by buying and selling these 2 balers, but this will be enough to get me back to at least this point. Like before I just sold this upgrade baler, we were basically paying to have some upgrades done on our baler. We knew that if the upgrades weren't successful, we'd be out of pocket on it, and unfortunately they weren't successful, and the upgrades that we tried to do to our baler ended up breaking the baler. So that's the story behind where the money has just gone, and trust me, that's an entirely plausible thing to go and do. I have seen such things happen in the past, and I have no doubt I will see such things happen again in the future. It is absolutely 100% something that could and does happen. Now, I'm going for Kubota again. We're going to go with the... Right. I'm going to just have the left rear hitch on this one rather than both of them, because it'll be slightly easier to move down the road. I don't think it makes a huge amount of difference. We won't have that one. We won't have the foil color random. We will set that one to green because that's the foil color I prefer. We will go with the main color with the orange gloss. I think is the one that we want. It gives us that nice kind of almost metallic sheen on the Kubota orange that we've got right there, and we will buy that one. Right, so we're a little bit up on what we were just now, but overall we have still lost a pile of money on this, but I think that that's going to be alright. So this is going to go back to the much more sedate version of baling, and I think the way that it was sped up was the actual rate at which it converts the bale into the next bit has been altered. There's a speed thing there that can also be altered, and that's what controls the speed that the baler travels along the ground at, whereas the working speed mod, it only alters one thing on the file. It overwrites one thing on the XML file, which does work for every single machine, every single speed, except for this type of baler. At least this is my theory. So my theory is that this is just not going to work now. So we're going to try this out. Get this one down here and see how this carries on. We will unfold that one and turn off those beacons. We can go here like this, and then let me just turn on that baler a second, and then we can hook that trailer on. We'll turn that one on. Right. Let's see what happens once we get into the crop. I suspect 15 kilometers an hour. It's not going to be altered by the working speed. So we either have the standard speed or the fast speed. Now, it could be that we went to the standard amount of straw in the field instead of doing the extra straw that we've been doing. It could be that I'm an absolute fool. How many of you seen me make that horrific mistake right there and forget to change the capacity of the baler? 180, 125. So we want 125s, not that huge, great big thing right there. Can I split that one open? Have I got... Let's have a look. I know I've got super strength, which I can use, but do I have a thing? So if I press Alt on there, we can just move that one over here. Check too heavy. No, we don't. I was wondering if I had a thing where I can split the bale open, but I don't, so we're going to have to move that bale separately. We're going to do this. You're going to all turn away now. Okay. Absolutely did not carry that huge great big bale all the way over here by hand. Such a thing would be utterly ridiculous, and I can't even imagine what would make you think I would attempt to do such a thing. Right, let's back you up and actually start you baling then. See if I can do this without completely destroying that hitch on the back of the trailer. On the back of the baler, rather. So anyway, we have now got a slightly slower baler again, and I am going to say that I would respectfully disagree with some of the things that have been said about what's real and what's not real. Also, I do understand some of the suggestions have been made by people not suggesting that baling of that straw is unrealistic, but more if I want to save a bit of time whilst playing this and do things a little bit quicker but not stupid quick, then maybe I should stick to just the standard straw instead of trying to bale everything, and have that as more of a compromise approach to things. And yes, I absolutely agree, I could do that, and I may consider doing that. I'll see how it goes, but this is definitely not saving just a couple of minutes off of the baling. This does go an awful lot slower, and there is a significant amount of time difference between being able to bale quickly and being able to bale slowly when you start to add it all up. Like, it is quite a significant amount of time that is saved. It's not just a small quantity of time. There is a significant difference between the two. And that's kind of the point that I think is sometimes missed when I start talking about wanting faster balers and being able to do the job a bit quicker, is there is actually quite a significant amount of time that a time difference between them. Now, that tractor that I took back, actually, it was the red one. I'm going to put this red one. I know that other one is bigger, but I think this red one can still handle the rake. I'm going to go and put this one on the rake. Unfortunately, folks, that is all we have got time for today. A massive thank you to everybody who has earned their way into the Great Book of Names. To find out some more details about all the names coming past, please head into the description and click on the link to the Discord. It's a link to another video. The link is on the other video. Please also consider checking out the links there for Nitrado, who provide gaming servers for games like Farming Simulator, Minecraft, Ark, and several others. And there's also Fanatical, who will help support your gaming habit by providing you with cheap games and also giving me a small commission on anything that you buy using my link. If you've enjoyed this particular video, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.